We are back on Taking Care of Business on Koerner Radio News Talk, 1180, 1230 KGEO, 1410 KERI, and now in Albuquerque, New Mexico on 1000 KKIM. So, Clay, what do you think of Michael Stern?
Oh, Michael's an interesting little guy.
Isn't he a fun guy?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He knows a lot of people.
It's amazing, if you're on Facebook and you want to friend him, it's amazing the people he sees on a daily basis.
If I knew how to work Facebook, I'd friend him.
Well, that's true. I'll have to go by your office and show you like I usually do how to work. Yeah, how to work it. But I worked with Michael's dad in the 70s. We were both agents for the Auto Club
I thought
at
it was
that
the
time.
50s.
No. That's a little before my time.
Okay.
Not much, but a little bit.
Let's move on.
Our in-studio guest is one of the good guys, a guy we've had on the air before. He is the artistic director and an actor and a very, very funny guy at the Gaslight Melodrama here in Bakersfield, Michael Prince. Mike, welcome back to Taking Care of Business.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So you got to listen to Mike Stern.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
What did you think of, now, Lucille Ball, has her kind of slapstick humor influenced you
Oh,
guys?
very much. Yeah. We've, our musical director, Warren Dobson, he's a huge fan of Lucy.
Mm-hmm.
I watched Lucy when I was a kid, and loved it. We've actually done a few of their famous bits from the show in our shows and our vaudeville reviews, trying to recreate, that kind of magic and, the fun.
And you have to apologize to Warren for me, because last time we had Michael on, we had a book signing afterwards, and Warren showed up, and I forgot about that until this morning. Had I remembered, I would have had Warren show up with you this morning and and listen to the show, but so my apologies to Warren.
His piano in the studio.
Right.
That's true. That would have been a little tough.
Yeah.
But Warren's great. I tell you, I highly, highly recommend going to the Melodrama as a very, very fun family evening. It's the kind of place where where else can you take a family and have that kind of fun?
I'm not sure, because I'm there all the time, so that's the only place that I go to have family fun. But that's what our whole goal is, and that's what we're all about, is having a place where everybody of all ages can come and have a great time.
I mean, everything from you go out to your snack area, and somebody throws some money in the tip jar, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, everybody's singing a song.
Yeah.
What are they singing, Michael?
Well, they're tip songs, as we call them.
Let's hear an example. Let's hear it.
This is our tipping song. It isn't very long. Thank you. So they're honest, too,
But if you're going to go out there, don't eat before you go, because you can get some great hot dog and cookies and soda and popcorn.
Oh, yeah. All American food.
Yeah, it's really all American food.
Yeah, just like going to a ball game.
If you don't want to get fat, that's not the place to go. Who owns the Melodrama?
Our whole family does. My mother-in-law and father-in-law, Linda Larma and Arnie Carlos, and my wife Jennifer and I, and my sister-in-law Kimberly and her brother, or her husband, my brother-in-law, John Slicker.
Now, is that the crew that runs it, or do you have other people that run the Melodrama as well?
Well, we run all the day-to-day operations of the businesses, and then we have our musical director Warren, who runs the music area of the show. We have our hired actors who are the performers.
Mm-hmm. Now, where did the concept of the Melodrama come from? And explain that concept to our listeners.
Like what melodrama is?
Yes.
Well, melodrama dates back to the early 1800s.
When Clay was first.
When I first started, yeah.
So he's been a fan for a long
the
time.
Late 1800s for me.
And it was a way for people, who were kind of migrating west to have some form of entertainment, because the times were pretty rough and things were pretty harsh, and so it was built so that people could actually have something to look forward to, and so you could boo the bad guy, because everybody had bad guys all around them. You could cheer a hero, and that would give you kind of hope, and so it's definitely morphed throughout the decades and throughout the years, and we just kind of like to keep that tradition going.
And you actually do that as far as telling people to boo the bad guys. And
yeah. We always tell people before a show starts, we don't take ourselves too seriously, and neither should you. So the more noise you make, the more fun we all have.
Right.
So yell at us when the bad guy comes out and the music's playing. It's the bad guy music. That's your cue to boo, hiss.
Yeah. Now, something you do during the break that I think is hilarious. You'll ask if there's any wedding, anniversaries.
Birthdays and anniversaries.
And then you remember those, and you sing a happy birthday to everybody. So there might be 20 people, and
It's happened, yeah. We've had upwards of 28.
And you still manage to remember the names. How do you do that?
It's the power of 3. You say their name 3 times, find a fun way to say their name 3 times, and then usually by then it sticks. Plus, we say them every time we go around and ask new people, so that helps as well.
Right.
Every now and then we'll have a nice person in the audience who will be taking notes. So we'll just refer back to that person.
Just to be on the safe
side.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Because the whole thing is, I mean, it's what, 2,000 square feet maybe? 2,500?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so you're not that far, regardless of where you're sitting, you're not that far from the...
From the action.
The
stage. And it was designed that way so that you would always feel kind of immersed in the show.
You know, the actors are not only actors in the show, but they're servers, they're seaters.
Yeah.
And I imagine they probably clean the place up afterwards.
Yes, so we do. As soon as the show's done and everybody's out, we clean it up and set it right back up for the next day's performance.
And you said the actors are paid, is that correct?
Yes.
Is it a scale of any type, or how they?
Well, we have some actors who are full time, who sign anywhere from a 6-month to 8-month to a year contract, who work, solely with us. We have other actors who work part time. They can only do a couple shows a year. We have some actors who only come on for one show. They're community players, who get paid maybe a stipend. Full time actors get paid a salary. So it just depends on.
Our in-studio guest, Michael Prince, the artistic director from the Gaslight Melodrama.
Now, do you have any non-professionals that have an opportunity through an audition or another way to work in one of the melodrama shows?
We encourage everyone to, if they want to audition, to come down and audition. The only way to become a professional is to work professionally. So they don't have to have, a massive amount of education. They just have to have kind of a will to be silly and have some talent and come and join us and play.
Do they have to join a union?
No, we're not union. We're not union affiliated.
Just curious, because
and a lot of professional theaters are union based.
Sure.
We are not. There's just too many rules.
Who writes all the plays? Because you've got one coming up. I think you said it's Rosedale.
Rosedale. Yeah.
Is it just called Rosedale?
Just Rosedale, like Dallas, but funnier.
And you had once.
Like that subtitle.
Once before, you had one that was what? Oildale?
Well, we had My Big Fat Oildale Wedding. We had The Real Housewives of Oildale, and we had Trouts, the musical. So we kind of used Oildale to its fullest. Sure. Our Oildale trilogy, as we called it.
So you're moving west.
We are. Yeah. We're leaving the Dale for another Dale.
Well, those were some funny shows, though, Michael.
They were fun. Yeah, it is like we just finished a show called Cruisin' Chester, which was great. And we had a lot of people who had grown up, in Bakersfield in the 50s and 60s who cruised Chester, who all came out and they, would send us, pictures of what their cars were like at the time, the places they hung out at, and it was, it's a lot of fun to have that kind of local attachment to the programs.
And we talked about doing a show called Radio Show.
Right? Yeah. With no lights used. No, you can't see anything. You just hear voices. I think
it's
brilliant.
Except for the commercials.
Right. Yeah. Make those full color.
Pretty exciting.
Yeah. Right on that.
You'd be good on that.
I'm sure I would be.
Yeah, because that way people wouldn't have to
look at me.
I didn't want to say that, but
you don't have
now
to.
that you mentioned it, it's
You have any good questions for Michael, Marty?
Yeah,
okay, go ahead.
Big Fat Oildale Wedding. That was hilarious, and I guess that was a couple of years ago, maybe a year and a half ago or so. You had the fans tell you what their most favorite show was.
Yeah, for our 5th anniversary. That was our number. Yeah, that was voted number one. Yeah.
That was hilarious.
Didn't you bring that back?
I don't think so. I think
no, they did bring it back.
We did. We brought it back twice. We've done it 3 times.
That's what I mean. It was so good. It came back a couple of times.
It did. Yeah, within about a year and a half, and I think we kind of put that one to rest.
Yeah. I mean, but that was a great show.
You have a Bakersfield theme going on here, or a Kern County theme.
Yeah, and we found that audiences really respond to that and really enjoy that, and it kind of gives them a chance to have some memories with their younger kids or their grandkids, and they're talking about KAFY. Do you know what that was when we were kids? And
so quickly, if someone wanted to get tickets, because I know you sell those shows out. If someone wanted to get tickets, how much in advance should they buy them, and how do they get tickets?
As soon as possible, is kind of what we'd like to tell people. Just the sooner the better. If you want to come, just give us a call and book. Our number is 661-587-3377. And
I'm sorry, 661.
587-3377.
Okay. Now, you are actually in Rosedale, aren't you?
I'm not in Rosedale. I wrote and directed it. My wife is
No, I don't mean the play. I mean the melodrama theater.
Yes, in Rosedale. Yeah.
Come on, Clay. Ask these questions in such a manner to where the poor guest can answer them.
Michael, where is the facility located?
There you go.
It is in Rosedale, which is like Dallas, but funnier.
Not in Dallas. It's in Rosedale.
And And where is Rosedale?
It's in Bakersfield,
Just
like
outside
Texas,
Dallas.
but California. Yeah.
Ora, ora, ora. So
587-3377. Get your tickets for this weekend to see.
Yeah, it's not this weekend. Well,
no,
it
actually
would be
because
this weekend. Yeah, it would be
yes.
opening weekend.
Yes,
so yeah, for Rosedale.
Yes,
Yes.
we're airing on the 27th, which is
That's
the
right. That's
weekend
our
here.
opening.
And that goes till September 14th.
That's right.
And then after that, you've got.
It all happened at the Kern County Fair.
I love that. I love that title. And then it's funny. Everybody raves about your Christmas show,
Mm-hmm.
and that one sells out. I know that one sells out way ahead of time.
Yeah. That
And
one
when
does.
does the Christmas show run?
It runs November, the day after Thanksgiving. So
November
I think that's
29th.
the 23rd. Is it the 29th this year?
Yeah, I'm actually looking at
Okay.
your.
Oh, good. You have a cheat sheet.
I'll give
that
this to you
helps
so
me
I
as
can,
well.
I
Yeah.
can ask you a question. Okay?
The 29th
So
through
when does-
December 23rd.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
right down the
November
bottom.
29th through
Yeah.
the December 23rd.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
When we come back from the break, I'll ask you another question, but I'll give you the answer.
Fantastic.
Okay.
That would help.
We'll be back in a moment on Taking Care of Business on Current Radio News Talk 1180.